Now we finally get to understand the SAP technical modules. And of course, these are the tools which technical SAP consultants will use to design, implement, and roll out a smooth operating SAP landscape. So here are some of the key technical modules that you're going to come across. SAP Basis was considered to be the systems administration of SAP and provides the technical foundation which would enable SAP applications to run smoothly. I'm skimming over that because really it's evolved to become what they call SAP Web Application Server, and which for the context of recruitment has also evolved into NetWeaver. So just bear that in mind. When you see NetWeaver, and we're going to expand on that in just a minute, it has kind of replaced SAP Basis in many respects because it becomes the glue or the administration tool, and I'm going to explain more of that later on. Now, there are many SAP technical modules, and we don't need to go through all of these in a session of this particular context. But I will go through some of the key ones here and just make sure you understand them. So I'm going to list some of these because you're going to come across these: SAP Solution Manager, Exchange Infrastructure, Supplier Relationship Management, Information Systems Management, Customer Relationship Management. But the final two are the ones that are important for us. So I'm going to give you an overview as to what they are as we move forward. And these are SAP HANA, which is effectively their data system, and I'll explain much more about that in a minute, and also ABAP, which is their high-level programming language, and I'm going to explain that as well. In fact, thinking about that, let's look at SAP developers and see how they customize those out-of-the-box SAP modules. Of course, it is the SAP developers who create the customized application solution for each client. And they have a number of tools which they can use to achieve this. They'll use these tools and languages to create bespoke SAP implementations from scratch. But more often, they are used to tweak, adjust, and customize existing code pieces from that huge library of pre-existing solutions which may have been used in previous projects. The key tools which developers use to program the SAP environment are SAP ABAP with SEAT. So ABAP with SEAT. But you'll also come across SAP NetWeaver Composition Environment, which is CE on CVs. And they've got NetWeaver Developer Studio. Now, as well as these proprietary languages or tools, you'll also see on the CVs of developers Java and mostly .NET. So any other language framework that is dictated by the host platform will also be very familiar to the development environment. But let's discuss ABAP. So ABAP stands for Advanced Business Application Programming, and it was created in the 1980s as the proprietary SAP programming language. Now, it's old, but it continues to reinvent itself and still remains the main language for programming SAP components. So what do? Using these tools and languages, SAP developers will firstly, very important, take your standard SAP modules and programs and customize them to enable the unique functionality needed for a particular project. So the unique functionality and the features required in any new project will be tweaked by the SAP ABAP developers. They'll also ensure that the new SAP system can interface directly with the existing systems that are in the business. Of course, they'll create user interfaces and forms which will be needed by the users to access the features of the SAP system. So they'll have a graphical user interface element to them. So their role is to tweak and customize the existing technical modules using languages and tools. Finally, let's finish with those other key SAP technologies that you really do need to know about. And the first thing I'm going to speak about is HANA.